Hi guys, this is Scotty with Hawk Fire Saws. I'm trying to hold this camera by hand, so we'll see how it goes. I've got a little different project today. This is actually my own personal 261 Stihl, and I've had a problem here the last actually couple years where it just simply won't idle when it's warm. It just goes super lean, surges, and dies. If I can start it and get my hand on the trigger quick enough, it runs great. Medium top end speed, not a problem. As soon as I let off the trigger, leans out and dies. I already put the upgraded white solenoid on last year, and it didn't really solve the problem. I did some more Googling and reading on the internet, and I know this is an older saw. It's got the version 1 M-Tronic, and thinking that the problem is a temperature sensor, which is built into the coil, I thought I would go ahead and replace the coil and upgrade it to the version 3. So if I can get my light here, you can see this existing coil ends there with the, if you can see it, 4107 on the part number, whereas the new one is 4734. So the calibration procedure will be a little bit different, and hopefully it will solve my idle and surging problems. Messaging back and forth with another fella on the message boards here on Facebook, and I saw where he had posted a couple years ago that the other difference beside the coil and the solenoid between the version 1 and the version 3 is that the carburetor has a larger main jet. I don't seem to have a problem on the top end, so I'm not going to mess with that at this point. But if it does need anything else in the future, it will be either trying to figure out if I can bore that jet out or just getting a new throttle body and with a bigger jet in it and replace it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on it. I don't have enough hands to hold the phone and do the work, but I just wanted to see what I was going to do, and we'll see how it goes. All right, well, back at it. First part went real well. So I've got the new coil set in there. I'm getting ready to set the gap on it. I just wanted to show you this this little tool I got. It's like the Stihl OEM tool, but this one's from Neotech. I think I got it off of eBay. Very handy little tool. So what you do is put that down here in front of the coil. If I can get that scooted back a little bit. So you want this to be between the magnet part of the coil, or the flywheel rather, and the coil itself. So here's my magnets. So I'll try to bring that around. Pardon me. Okay. So now there with the magnets, that pulls the coil up tight. And then once I tighten up these two screws, the coil will stay, and my coil gap will be the thickness of this gauge. All right, well, I've got everything buttoned up in there. I'm going to put on a new air filter. I don't know if you folks are aware of it, but Farmertech, excuse me, Farmertech now has air filters available for these later model saws. So, and it looks pretty good. Typical HD2. I'll put that on, get my bar and chain back on, and then we're going to take a look at this new grinder from V-Modest. Battery powered grinder for sharpening chains.